Today is something that you need to do before you go on your Hinge date.
Bitch, listen to me.
And that is to do your due diligence. Now, what I mean by this is essentially just covering all bases so that you know that your match is who they say they are and looks like they do on their online dating profile. If you aren't accustomed to the world of online dating, getting catfished is unfortunately a very common thing, and it does happen on Hinge.
You look different than your photo.
Now, don't worry, I don't want to scare you too much, but once you have done your due diligence, you can go into your date feeling good and confident that you're going to have fun and be safe.
We're gonna party.
But first, before we jump into that, if you're new to the channel, my name is Steve from dudehack.com, and I'm an online dating coach for men. Now at dudehack.com, we help guys drastically improve their online dating life, so if that's something that might interest you, consider subscribing. But today is all about doing your due diligence and making sure that you are talking to the person that you think you are on Hinge, so let's get into that. Now, I hope that you've heard about what catfishing is. If not, it's essentially somebody pretending to be somebody else on their dating profile, or I would even consider it someone looking drastically different to what they currently look like. You might have also heard about scammers, maybe you've seen the show Tinder Swindler, and look, unfortunately, and just the nature of the world today, there are some people on Hinge for nefarious purposes, or they're just quite lonely and want to pretend to be someone else for whatever reason that helps them. But if you've seen the TV show Catfish, you would know that there are these people out there, and the reasoning behind it ranges completely. The important thing is for you to be safe and knowing that you can avoid these people at all costs. Years ago, when I was still fairly new to online dating, I got catfished, and luckily, because I followed a few of these steps that we are about to go to, we didn't end up meeting up. We didn't even get close to that, and I found out this person was using like a D-list celebrity's photos, and I know that might sound ridiculous to some, but it seemed so legit and authentic. But I caught her out. I knew she was lying to me, that she was fake, and luckily it went no further than that. So I'm here to prevent you from making the same mistakes and hopefully not getting past that point and actually meeting up or getting scammed or anything like that. Now, even some of the AI and apps out there really scare me these days because they can also make somebody look completely different. Now, I feel a little bit bad talking about just this random person, but I remember when I was traveling around America, I was on some public transport, and maybe I was being a little bit nosy, but I couldn't help but notice this. The guy sitting next to me had a photo of himself, and he was using the Facetune app to make himself look like a completely different person. Like, this guy was pretty overweight, he had a lot of acne and things like that. And I remember something that caught my eye and made me kind of peek down, probably being a little bit too nosy, but it was him like kind of like going like this on the side of his body. And essentially he was making himself look completely different and, well, look like thin. Now, it got to the point that after a while I maybe peeked down again, and that person in the photo was completely different to the person sitting next to me. Now, if he put that photo up online on his dating profile and somebody expected that person in the photo to be on the date, and then they saw the man sitting next to me, they would have been catfished. So it's not even someone being completely different. It could be someone using AI or using one of these apps to make themselves look drastically different. Okay, so look, let's just jump into the ways that we can be sure that your match is who they say they are. The best way, and I think it's something that you should always do, is to get their Instagram or other socials. If they don't have that, is a little bit of a red flag. And the number one tip when you go to their Instagram profile is look at their tagged photos. The reason I say that is the tagged photos are usually a better indication of what they look like in real life. Remember, the photos that they put up on Hinge and even Instagram are going to be their best photos where they think that they look the best. So sometimes it's not the best indication of real life. So tagged photos where someone else has taken the photo usually is a better indication. Again, maybe a slight little bit of a red flag if they don't have any tagged photos. The very best way to be sure that they are who they say they are is to jump on a FaceTime call or just any other sort of video call. Now, this isn't imperative, but if you are a little bit suspicious, maybe this is the better way to go before your date and then facing some disappointment. This could be really simple, and you could just throw it out there in like a non-accusatory way, saying like, hey, before I go on dates, I'd like to maybe jump on a bit of a FaceTime call, just see if we vibe and things like that. Don't say that you're suspicious that they aren't who they say they are or that they're a catfish. Now, personally, I don't do this because I'm at the point where I can get a pretty good idea of what my match will look like in person based off of Instagram, things like that. That's when I was single. I am in a relationship now, so I don't need to do it anyway. But to be honest, I probably wouldn't have gone on a date with somebody that maybe had like only a couple of really filtered photos on their dating profile, then their Instagram maybe only had 1 or 2 photos, and they had no tagged photos, because to me, something would be up in that scenario. Another thing that would raise suspicions for me would be if all of her photos from Instagram were from like 2 or 3 years ago. I would be really on the fence of meeting them, because something would tell me they probably look a little bit different currently. And to be honest, because I would feel a little bit uncomfortable meeting them for that, I would kind of call it out. I'd be like, hey, I was just wondering, I saw that all of your photos were from like 2 or 3 years ago. Could you send me a photo of you currently? Now, this has happened to me a few times in the past where I've matched with somebody, then I've gone to their Instagram, their photos have been old, and then I've kind of seen the same photos that they used on their dating profile was from Instagram and were also 2 or 3 years old. Now, if they're a little bit funny about you asking that, so be it. I would way rather asking about it than being disappointed if I rocked up to the date and they looked completely different. And that will just create an awkward date. And look, if they do think that's weird, you could just add the fact that maybe you've had a bad experience before and you have been catfished, and you just like to do your due diligence and be sure before going on dates. At the very least, jumping on a voice call so you can be sure their voice does sound the same as what you would have pictured and it's not, you know, like some Nigerian man pretending to be them. That's a little bit drastic, but at the very least, you can see if you guys still vibe whilst on the phone. But if they are being funny about any of these things, if you're asking in a really light way, chances are they probably do have something to hide, or at the very least, they're quite self-conscious about how they do currently look, and it's probably different to how they looked in their photos. But I do highly recommend you do this, because people unfortunately do this, which to me is crazy. I mean, why would you want to set yourself up for disappointment going on a date and that person be like, oh, when they know that you look different? But it weirdly happens. So have your guard up, do your due diligence, check all this out before the date, but also at the same time, don't overthink this. I don't want to freak you out. It only happens in a very minuscule amount of times. And if you were to follow everything in my other videos, for example, how to actually ask your match out properly, and as well as that, how to actually have a good conversation on Hinge, and you've done all the due diligence, you should be pretty safe. Now, if you're someone who's not really getting too many dates or any dates at all, or you feel like you're not getting many matches at all, listen up to today's sponsor. So just a very short break for today's sponsor, and today's sponsor is me. Now, the channel is supported 100% by just myself. We don't have any external sponsors. With that being said, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, which is Hook Her Heart. I've developed this groundbreaking new course which teaches you everything you would need to know about online dating from A to Z. It's called Hook Her Heart, the modern gentleman's guide to attracting, entertaining, and retaining high quality women. In my new jam-packed 5-module course, I'll walk you through some of the most vital concepts, like how to build a good physique, exactly what to eat, whether you want to lean up or gain some muscle, my methodology for upgrading your look from grooming to a whole wardrobe transformation, a fresh overhaul to an attractive, intriguing dating profile, my exact process for optimizing your pictures to get way more matches, my best openers that get interested responses from women, live breakdowns of magnetic conversations, my core methodologies, and the 6 pillars of conversation, what to do on the date to give her an amazing experience, and the smoothest, most natural way to escalate towards your end goal. Plus, so much more inside the course. And 3 awesome bonuses that you'll get for free if you sign up before my special introductory price expires. So if you are serious about transforming your dating life and you want to learn literally everything you would ever need to, well then click the link down in the description below so you can get the special introductory price offer that's not going to be available for long. Now that's it for today's sponsor. Back to the video. Okay guys, so that wraps up things today. Just be safe and look out for yourself. If something in your gut is telling you that things are off, listen to it. If something seems a little bit too good to be true, it probably is. There are certain areas and countries out there where things are a little bit dangerous as well. I just got back from Colombia. There are a lot of stories out there about people, you know, having really bad experiences because they match with a girl on Tinder, they get invited over to the house and, you know, things go south. So just have your wits about you. Be smart, be safe, and you should be fine. Now, if you're not getting many matches at all that are leading to dates, then I do suggest you check out our free quiz down below where you can even upload your online dating profile, answer a bunch of questions. Myself and my team will assess those and give you some personalized feedback. The link is down in the description for that, and Hook Her Heart as well. And if you have enjoyed today's video, go ahead and press the thumbs up button down below and consider subscribing. But until next time guys, I'll see you later.